Hello everyone, it's SteamBoy27. Let's play some Gunstar Superheroes. Gunstar Superheroes is a rough sequel to the original Gunstar games. Gunstar Heroes as an arcade game, where you can play as the heroes Red and Blue, which are depicted here, along with their friend Green. Unfortunately, they are in a sepia filter, so we don't know who is who right now. But oh well. Gunstar Superheroes, unlike Gunstar Heroes, wasn't that much of a success, mostly because the sequel, it's a rough sequel first of all, is really late. It's taken it about almost a decade, I'm not quite sure. But it didn't do very well because it emulates an arcade game feel. However, it was ported to the Game Boy. It never had an arcade version. And because of this, also, it didn't feature a link where you could play as both characters. In fact, you can only play as one character at a time. And also another criticism that the game is subject to is that the endings are very obscure. It's not actually clear which ending is Kanan, and I'll explain that further as we get into the title screen. So, in the end of Gunstar Heroes, the Red and Blue, the two heroes you could play as, defeat Gold and Silver, and the explosion from Gold and Silver created 4 moons. The moons are not actually shaped like those jewels, it's just there to show something. And there's apparently a 5th moon, artificially made by an empire, who plans to resurrect the destructor Gold and Silver. And I'll let you read that by yourself. So in this game, we'll play as people that are hundreds of years after Gunstar Heroes. So none of the characters that you know are in this game. A lot of the people have the same names as the other characters, like our heroes are Red and Blue. However, they are not at all related to the Red and Blue from the first game. Same goes for most of the other things. We'll be playing the game on easy for now. What I'll be doing is I'll be playing the game on all 3 difficulties, interchanging between Red and Blue. Each episode will feature 1 level, first time with Red, second time with Blue. That way you'll only be forced to see a stage a total of 3 times per cycle. Now, in this game, you get your gun, and there's a lot of other things you can do with it. I'll explain the controls once I get rid of these jerks. Alright, so to play the game, A is to jump, B is to use this little bayonet thing you got, because you can't see it from over here. Here we go. It's this little white blade. Moderate damage, hits them multiple times. There you go. If you hold down the B button, you can fire your gun. We'll go into the gun in a second. If you press A while pressing left or right, you'll do a triangle kick. If you hold down an A, you'll do a slide kick. And if you hold up an A, you can do a shoryuken, or an uppercut. And if you hold down an A when you're in the air, you'll do a dive kick. Like a meteor smash. And what's good about these is that you can link them all together. Like that. Infinitely, actually. Like that. So it's kind of abusable. Melee is actually very good in this game. It does a lot of things the gun can't, like hit things next to you. Now we'll go into the gun. Like I said, you hold B to shoot the gun, and you can press L to change between guns. The main difference between Red and Blue is that Red has the flame gun, while Blue has the lightning gun. I'll show you the lightning gun when we play as Blue. The other 2 guns they share. The explosive gun, short range, but has a big AoE, area of effect. The tracer gun is homing, but very weak. Enough said. Now if you hold R, you can stand in one place and fire, a lot like Base from Mega Man and Base. And if you hold R and the B button, you'll be able to strafe while shooting in the same direction you pressed. Very useful in certain cases. To pick up an item, you press down and B, and it'll create an explosion and give you a power-up. The explosion will damage enemies, so if you want to go for an item and you're afraid, don't be, because you can use the explosion to cover you. these dumb-looking Goonies here don't give you any points. They only give you points to your supercharge, which I'll explain once we get all of them to max. Actually, I can explain the first one. Oh, I love this part. This is the only time in the game you'll actually get to see this, like this little filter, this thermal filter. To do a supercharge in the game, you press R twice, and you get locked into position, and you will fire a more powerful version of your gun with the attributes according to the gun. So we'll try the flame gun super. Ah, you didn't get to see it. Get on my way. Shoryuken! Oh yeah, Shoryukens. Ah. Don't worry, I'm much better at the game. I'm just busy explaining things. Alright, so this is a super gun. You can aim it upwards, downwards, all of the ways, and it uses up your super gauge. Each one is different. So let's try using the fire gun. Gotta use the fire gun a little so we can get it to work. And you can effectively stun lock any enemy, really. The supercharge for the flame gun, explosive gun, excuse me, is a big explosion. Reaches a little farther and does heavy damage. Although it's really meant for macro, not for singular. I actually did a take on this a lot earlier, and in order to get the thing to work correctly, I had to minimize the screen back to 1. I usually do it times 2 so I can see what I'm doing. Unfortunately, I use Windows Movie Maker because I'm cheap. I had caused it to stretch and get all fuzzy, and I'm like, well, that's terrible, I can't do that. So we're doing this on times 2 for Visual Boy Advance dimensions. Oh, by the way, we'll talk about the characters. We're playing as Red. Red is an orphan, like most heroes. And in America, Red is a girl. In Japan, it's ambiguous. We don't really know. And it's really confusing, but I just know that I consider Red a girl. Even though she's very tomboyish and stuff, and not very characteristic of a girl. But anyway, yeah, Red's a girl. Just know that. Just remember. Shoryuken! Shoryuken. I know it's not really a Shoryuken, but I will consider it one. Alright, let's get the tracer charge up so that we can actually I can actually show you what it does. Just a little more. The tracer is probably the most expensive of the supercharges. The least expensive being the fire gun and the lightning gun. Alright, we got it. We can use it on the boss now. You can see that it's kind of America definitely made it so that Red was a girl. Alright, let's do this. Now for this boss, the Empire Robot, it allows you to free yellow if you hit both arms. And then it'll go into a little rage and it'll just do this. Once its HP gets down to a certain point, it'll start shooting blue fireballs. But at this point, you probably want to use the gun lock so you can strafe while having a diagonal so that you don't get hit by the fireball. And there you have it. We're done. This is the first stage. And the stage is now clear. That's about it. Stages are pretty short, just like a normal arcade. And I get to put in my initials. So here you are, viewers. These are my initials. Take a wild guess. Of course, you already know what the middle one is. So we have a character named Red, Blue, a navigator named Yellow, and a bad dude named Gray. You can probably guess what all the characters will be named after. Alright, so now we have access to all 4 moons. And we'll be doing them all one at a time. If you go back to an old base, you can actually see that you can go to a certain section you can go to a specific section in the stage. And this is actually useful for, well, figuring out strategies or other things like that. But enough of that. I'm going to save this take, and then we're going to start the game again. Alright, viewers, let's play again, as Blue. Blue is also an orphan, and he's got a really bad attitude. Alright, let's go. So this is how the game will be played. We're gonna go through all the games, stages on easy mode, switching off between red and blue. And then next time we'll play on normal and then hard. That way you don't have to see me playing through entire story as red and then as blue, because that would be 6 cycles. I'd rather it be 3 cycles. So here we have blue. Has the same attributes physically as red, can do all the moves. Nothing different here. But he does have the lightning gun, which is probably I actually like this gun a lot more. Yeah, Shoryuken. Lightning gun. Pretty much the same as the fire gun. It can travel through multiple people. That's pretty good. And its supercharge is actually exactly like the fire gun, except that it shoots a constant stream rather than small little bursts. Personally, I like Blue's guns better. Well, Blue's gun, not exactly guns. I like his gun better, but I don't like him. Blue's kind of a... he's a jerk. Blue's kind of a jerk. And I have there's one good example of that, but you'll be seeing that at the end of the LP. Alright, get out of my way, buddies. No need to explain anything, I've already explained everything with red. And as you can see, the explosion goes through containers. Pretty awesome. And there's an example of the explosion of an item doing damage to an enemy. Now, in the original game, Gunstar Heroes, you were actually able to use all 4 guns with the character, and you were able to combine them together, making like, I don't know, 16 different combinations? I'm not quite sure, but you can do like lightning, tracer, lightning fire. It's actually pretty cool, but in this game, no, you just get 3 versions. Yes, we already know who you are, and by ice I mean General Gray. Why did I say M. Bison? He doesn't look like M. Bison. Magneto. I meant to say Magneto. Whoopsie. Magneto, get back here. And as you can see, Blue doesn't really care about Yellow. He's not really concerned. He's like, oh, Blue, help me. I'm being attacked by the Empire robot. And he's like, nope, not now. I'm doing something important. What a jerk. I don't really like Blue. I don't like his personality. Very Squall-like. Or Cloud-like. I actually like Cloud's personality more than Squall's, though. Cloud's just like, whatever. Don't care. Do your job. Yeah. But I'm not gonna talk about what I think. No need to. Alright, so let's fight this boss a different way. Remember how I showed you could get free yellow by attacking his hands? Well, that doesn't seem like a very Blue thing to do. We'll just attack the thing and not really care about Yellow's we'll just not care about Yellow's safety at all. We'll just shoot the damn robot and not care. Yep, don't care. I'm just gonna shoot you. And as you continue to damage it, it gets more and more mad, and the interval between your shots will get slower. And there you have it. Now, the upside to saving Yellow is that, well, the fight gets a lot simpler, and Yellow will drop some power-ups for you. I haven't mentioned it, but the heart power-ups give you, well, life, and the energy power-ups, the stars, give you some supercharge. To give you some perspective about life, on easy mode, you get 200 life to start. On normal mode, you get 150, and on hard, you only get 100, which is half of what you normally have. So it's important you get life, because it's basically an extra 10% for what you have when you play hard. And hard is very hard, man. Very, very hard. Yeah, moving out. You whatever. I don't like Blue. Alright, this is SneamBoy27, wishing you all a brighter tomorrow. Have a good day, everyone.